Hello, what's up, demons and demonettes? Tis I, Atraxia Demon Kobe, and today I want to talk about Orson, one of the new bosses for Dream Realm. But before we get into it, as always, toss a like and subscribe down below. So here we are on the Pioneer server. I did Orson earlier, like a few days back, right after reset. He's kind of interesting. He has certain mechanic that we'll talk about, and there's one key hero that's going to be big in your build. But if you want to see all the stuff I do to get ready for bosses and Dream Realm, go ahead and take a look at my pre-boss battle guide. But we're going to just focus on Orson here, and we'll talk about some of his abilities, right? So I want to talk about one of his key abilities here. It is going to be... is it Warriors? Alright, it's a Warrior's Pride. Alright. At the start of battle, Orson enters a frenzy state, gaining all 5 stacks of Fury and an additional 50 haste. Each stack of Fury reduces damage taken by 10%. Orson will exit the frenzy state if he loses all stacks. And will re-enters when restored. Orson is not affected by interrupt effects applied to him, but will lose a stack of Fury for every 2 seconds and interrupt effect lasts. His Fury stacks will be restored in 10 seconds. Right, and then this is just kind of like, he does more, so these levels unlock the higher based on your reso level. But the primary mechanic of this boss, so this is more of a situational boss, like a Necro Dragon or a Stomper, where we're actually having to deal more with the mechanics of the boss than just like, it's not like you're just like standard butcher fight where you're just kind of standing there beating on the boss and you don't really have to do anything. You actually have to consider his abilities. So we have to counter a Warrior's Pride. Now there is a hero that does this really, really well. Her name is Kitty, aka Lanya, and she's going to be big on this fight. But that's kind of like the primary mechanic of this fight. He is going to do this Impale Strike, which lifts an enemy with the spear, and then throws them at the area with the most enemies, right? So he's going to pick up and toss enemies. Otherwise he gains Fury, right? So those are kind of like his main things. Like, consider he has a knockup with the spear, and he has the Fury stacks. So let's go into the comp, and then we'll kind of like talk about it. So as you can see, Alpha Bear is up at the time of the making of this guide. But let's go look at Orson and look at like the meta team that we're running here, right? And then I'll kind of like talk about how it works. Yeah, that was my best run, right? So here we're running Kruger to debuff the boss to physical damage, because Lenya is going to be our primary damage dealer. So that's who you would stick your meta slots on, would be Lenya. And then we'll just check here, right? So if you have extra, you would go with Shakir or maybe Mikula, right? Because she's still in a bunch of damage. So we probably actually would go with Mikula in this case as the secondary damage dealer, and then Shakir's third, Kruger's fourth. And then Rainer, well, we're just kind of bringing him here for his debuff on the boss. And then I did try out Sinbad in this case, thinking he might be a little bit better with the squad. It didn't really work out that well, but that is an option. Maybe that could change with charm sets. I don't know. So he may still be viable. But if you have Rainer, you probably already have him built up. You know, maybe you already pulled from Mikula because she was 6 of 6. So you probably have a lot of these heroes already and are good to go, right? So the primary damage dealer is going to be Lenya, because what happens is she does her kick every 6 seconds. And it's a 2-second interrupt when she does it. And it kind of resets with crit. So, and she crits a lot. So, right, the goal is to get her to attack a lot, crit a lot. So we need things to increase her speed, her haste, all that good stuff. We do that via Shakir, we do that via Mikula, we do that by Frontliner, and we do that by increase your damage via Kruger, all that good stuff. So the hero here is gonna be Lenya. She's the star of the show. So let's look at the formation. So here we go. We're running frontliner because it gives the life drain. So it kind of like lets everybody stay alive a little bit easier. It's very nice for melee heavy fights when you're on the enemy side of the battlefield. So boss fights with a lot of melee heroes. And you have Shakir over here, Kruger in front, right? Because we want him to get his shield, and he's going to be kind of like the de facto tank. And then you have Mikla, and then we're going to buff Lenya with Raynor, right? Because so she can get the damage buff from the S+ ability to help her out, and then she gets shielded, so she has an easier time staying alive. And then Raynor just does his stuff and debuffs the boss. So without further ado, let's see it in action. So there's his toss. And there's the spear toss. So one of the things to consider too with the toss is that it interrupts continuous type heroes pretty bad. So your Tailings and Smokies aren't really viable on this fight because of the boss mechanics. Similar to how Smokey's not viable on Stomper because of the interrupt mechanic, and he can never get his ult off. Right, and then, so we don't have a problem surviving the fight. We can survive the fight easy with just Mikola as the primary support and healer. And everybody just kind of like doing the life drain off frontliner, the life drain from Shakir. So everybody kind of stays alive. And then we have Lenya as the star of the show. I'm really happy. I really like her character. I just really liked her character in the storyline. So I'm glad to see her be viable in the new season. And we're not always just running Odie, and everything. And that's it for this one. I will catch you in the next one. Bye!